Welcome to Print is Back, the creative print-related podcast. I'm Jacques Michiels.
And I'm Andreas Weber.
We are your hosts. Welcome. Andreas, welcome. And we have to welcome another guest on our podcast. And he's not from around. He's from across the pond, as they say.
Yes, Jacques, it's a great pleasure to be here today. And we welcome my good friend Hamilton Costa.
So Hamilton, welcome on the show. Print is back. You're from São Paulo in Brazil. But you have been around in the industry for many, many years. You were also
many years.
Many years. You're really an expert in the domain. But yeah, maybe just in 2 words, who is Hamilton Costa?
Well, first of all, thanks a lot for the invitation. Thanks a lot to be here. It's a pleasure to share this, especially with my very old friend in time, Andreas. And well, I live in this industry for about 50 years, so it's a long time. I'm my educational formation. I'm a master in administration, and I also used to teach. I also used to write books. I also used to write articles, but most important part of the time I have worked in the industry directly, managing companies, national, international companies, managing print industry associations, not only Brazil, participating in international industry associations like NPS at that time, and we have a group. I have a consultancy. We have a group of consultancy or consultants all over Latin America. So we work in a group that we call SIGLAT. We have people in Mexico, Colombia, Costa Rica, Brazil, etc. We are a kind of technical arm of Conlatingraph. There's the print industry confederation that joins all the print industry associations. No? Mm-hmm. And we do market research, we do mentoring, we do support to companies and things like that.
Oh. So you know that our mantra is print is back.
Yeah, it is.
And in a former episode, Andreas asked, well, has print ever left? What is your idea about that statement?
Yeah, print is back. Coincidentally, this week we have a podcast here. I have along with a local journalist specialized in print and industry, and coincidentally this week we have interviewed 2 publishers, two magazine publishers, from the same house. One of them is an old guy from keeping on the magazine being published, not more than the same number of copies, but is still printing a lot of them. And another publisher, another editor, a girl, has 4 years managing a digital magazine. That was an old magazine in Brazil that stopped printing for many years. Now they have returned to the printing. And it was fantastic, this meeting, because the old guy said that, well, we're keeping printing all the time. And we still have a digital side. But the girl, 4 years working basically in the digital world, in digital sites, in digital magazine, now experimenting is seeing how is to have the magazine printed. It was amazing for her, discovering how this world, this printed world works. And the reception of their readers, it was fantastic. So they were amazing with the reaction. And the magazine is related to basically today to the Z generation. that we think they don't like the printed materials, but on contrary, they are looking for some physical objects to take on their hands, look the colors, put on the walls, and things like that. So it was fantastic to see this both side, and see how these people from the digital world are rediscovering print. So printing is back. That's right. You're right.
In Latin America, of course, it's a different environment. There are different possibilities, I guess, different resources to technology.
It is correct, as Phil say, that the basis of the industry is in technology is still an offset. Okay, but like in every place, digital print is also growing a lot. We still have more people using offset, or analog printing like flexo, etc. But even those that are in flexo, they're also adopting digital printing because of the smaller runs, smaller orders, and so they need to include digital print in their production. Okay. Also, like we are seeing everywhere, that the label and packaging area are the segments that are really growing faster than other segments. Promotional side has been down for the last years. Even the publishing side, we felt a lot of decrease in numbers of magazines and newspapers, etc. In this area, even in the promotional side, as we're discussing that printing is back, it's back as something different. It's back as something luxury. It's back something like make something different than only digital. So we are recovering some part of these markets, but not the most part. It's not more the mainstream in these markets, and growing faster, but was small part of the market, the digital printing machines. Okay.
And what is still profitable? Because commodity, I think offset is commodity. What I've learned from Europe in the last 20 years, the margins in the offset printing business are going down. Is it similar in Latin America?
It's similar. We're seeing, especially after the pandemic time, they're struggling with the market. Let's say that. Okay, they're struggling to say where do I have to go, because the commercial printing has gone down, and as I said, the promotional side were down too. So they are looking for alternatives. But it's still using the same machines. That's it certainly brings a lot of cost problems of productivity. They don't have the right price to compete in the market. It's interesting to see, I think, as in the statistics that's important in this side. If we take a certain number of companies that decide to reinvest strongly to make them more productive, not only in offset, as I said, not only in flexo, but also in digital printing and systems and ERPs and integrating systems, because the volume of the investment, especially in Brazil, if we take Brazil, has jumped a lot after the pandemic. So we're returning to a number of investments in dollar, similar to the years before pandemic, 2018, 2017. So last year, Brazil had imported, not counting those technologies bought inside, that Brazil has imported in pre-press, press, post-press, and systems, about $1.2 billion of equipment and systems. So it's not a small number. So yeah, there's a group of companies that are looking for productivity. They're looking for to be updated on this, even being in offset, but much more automated. and also integrating with digital printing. But we're talking about, the top of the market.
Sure.
For sure. You know that in Latin America, in general it is, but in Latin America, more than 92, 93% of the companies are very small or micro companies, right? 5% we could consider them as medium-sized companies, and about 2% of them we can say they are big companies, including international companies that invest here, like Smurfit Kappa, like CCL, like other companies, to have an idea what the movement of the market. You don't see exactly now in all the countries in Latin America, because when we talk about Latin America, we think it's something very similar, but it's Latin America. If you take Latin America and Caribbean, Latin America from Mexico down, no? Latin America or Mexico, Central America, South America, and Caribbean, we have 33 countries, 680 million people. So, the language
bigger than Europe, yeah.
Yeah. The language, first one is Spanish for sure, Portuguese because of Brazil the second, French and English a little bit because of the Caribbean area. But you have more than 500 Indian dialects around. They're very diversified.
Yeah, you kind of addressed the elephant in the room there, because 95% of printing companies in Latam, it's probably traditional smaller shops, mom and pop shops and stuff. Well, what do you see for them being the biggest challenges in that printing industry for them?
Many of them are looking for alternatives. That's that. If you ask to them, they're looking for alternatives in products, getting more products there. Let's say that the traditional commercial printing company has lost many of the business. So he start doing those companies that was based in offset machines, had one or two offset machines. Basically, he jumped to digital printing machine, but he jumped to other market segments like visual communication, like printing garments or printing the decoration things, or looking for going to labels, trying to go to packaging. The entrance price to packaging markets is very high, so not all can do that.
Is that still the case, or how do you see? Because if you cannot invest in the proper equipment, how can you be competitive?
That's the problem they face, because the investment is high, the costs are very high. Second biggest problem, if not the first one, is to have the right printer, the right personnel to be hired, because there are no more personnel. We used to make a joke that say, well, all this automation comes from Europe, from United States, from Japan, because they don't have more people to work in. They have to automate all their production. We used to say as a joke that here there's no problem, because if we need to do something else, you call the people here that you send to Jose, you send to that guy that he makes everything. Yeah. You put 5 of the Joses here, it's less expensive than buying a machine. Yeah. The problem that people are not finding more the Jose, okay? So not even the qualified people, but not qualified people, they are not more willing to work in a company from 8 to 7. They want to drive an Uber car or things like that, then work in a factory, So that's the biggest challenge. To have people in general, and to have specialized people, especially in the new technologies, because you must have a formal educations much better, as we don't have here if we compare to many countries in Europe or United States or other regions. So it's a big challenge. That's why the biggest investments are around these big companies, because they have support not only for training, but to hire better people and pay more for these people to work on. But for many of the companies, it's a big challenge in having people and be productive.
Thanks a lot, Hamilton, for taking the time to talk to us. And it's so interesting to hear what is going on in your area of the world.
Thank you again, Hamilton, and I'm looking forward to next week, and we'll see you there. Okay.
I think it's your grandchild. Your grandchild is calling you.
Okay.
Because it's a holiday today.
See you next week.
Bye-bye. Have fun.
Thank you. You too. Thank you. Good to see you.
Ciao.